Welcome to our North Shore special meeting. If Amy, I can have you do the roll call.
Yes, Commissioner Admin.
Here.
Commissioner Pratt is not here. Commissioner Byers.
Present.
Commissioner Webster.
Here.
Commissioner Woolham.
Here.
Chief Cowan.
Here.
Legal Counsel Matt Paxton.
Here.
And I'm Board Secretary Amy Oakley.
So on to public comment, and it looks like we got an online submission.
That's correct. This is actually, we received it right before the last meeting. So I'm going to read this into the record for our last meeting for April 2nd.
Actually, Chief, we don't have to read them into the record as long as they're in the record.
Okay.
They don't actually have to
That's
be
totally
read
fine by
out
me.
loud. Okay, so is there any, I don't see any other public on here. Amy, am I missing anything? Okay. So if we can move on to the approval of the minutes.
Agenda, you mean?
Oh, I'm sorry, agenda, approval of the agenda.
I make a motion that we accept the agenda as presented. Looks like Tyler seconded it.
Okay.
Tyler, we couldn't hear you.
Oh, I'm sorry. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, everyone in favor, say aye.
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 Motion passes unanimously. We're moving on to resolution of the levy lid lift.
So
do
you have the
we
resolution in front of you. Was there any questions about it?
I see no questions.
Is Amy going to post that up on the screen just so the public could look at it?
There is no public here, but,
Okay.
but we can put it up if you want.
But it is
Well,
online already through,
yeah.
If they just look at the stuff, the information for today, it's already posted up there.
Okay. Sounds good.
I'll go ahead and make a motion that we approve the resolution number 2024-02 as presented.
And this is Commissioner Rick Webster, and I'll second it.
Just double checking.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
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 None opposed, so the motion passes unanimously.
Thank you.
Amy, what do we have for our next board meeting?
Well, one thing that before we get entirely off this topic, one of the things that we will need to do is solicit for pro and con statements as well. And we need to advertise for that. So I will work on doing that. But you know, if there's people out there that you encounter or know that might be interested in a pro or con statement, please have them contact Amy and Lisa, and then I'll help coordinate. Well, Amy, Lisa, and me, and I'll help coordinate.
And Chief, what's the due date for the pro-con statement to be submitted?
I believe it's within, I want to say, that's a great question, and I should have known that. I think it's within a week of the posting, or Matt, do you remember off the top of your head? There are due dates.
Yeah, I'm checking that right now.
It's not the statement. You have to name the people and the statement, and then there's a period to rebut the other side, back and forth for I think it's about a week or 10 days in between each one.
And is this a statement from any of the community members, or is this a statement from one of the commissioners, or?
It actually can't be. This is open to the public to make a pro and con statements. and we have a responsibility to advertise and solicit for pro-con. And it should not be commissioners on this. We are neutral.
Is it allowed to be any of the employees of the fire departments?
I believe so. Yes.
I think we could also reach out to, I can think of some other community members, like some city council members of Kenmore, Lake Forest Park.
Sure. Again, we just need to make sure that we're, soliciting for interest, not for, not writing the language or, suggesting that they have to write a certain whatever. We need to populate the pro-con committees. And then if we don't get interest, then we'll probably get pro, and we may get con as well. But if we don't, then we have to make a statement as to our efforts to get both sides.
I'll follow up with the chief on this, but I believe it's May 28th that the pro-con statements are due.
Okay, so we have a little bit of time. That's good.
Well, is that May 28th that they're like finally, the statement, the resolute, the back and forth, or is it like that's when we have to have the committees? Because I would think if the statement is due to like King County elections by then, that means really the pro-con committees have to form pretty quickly.
Well, the committees form and make a statement, and then either side, and then the other side, and then you get to rebut the other side of the statements. So like if you're on the pro committee, you get to read the con statement and rebut the con statement, and vice versa. So you're absolutely right, Eric, that there's some back and forth, and there's some time that goes in between. But if Matt's, I don't know, I'm not looking at what Matt's looking at, but the first statement, if it's due by the 28th, there will be some time after that for back and forth. They give you I think they give you like a week or 10 days in between each, back and forth.
Sure. It would just be helpful for us to know a deadline for us to have people report their interest as being on that committee.
Okay. We'll find out and send it out to the board.
Okay.
And then we should probably also post on our website and, on a local paper too.
Okay.
And Commissioner Josh Pratt has just joined the meeting.
Perfect. Okay, so hi Commissioner Pratt. So we've already moved through roll call, public comment, approval of the meeting agenda, and the resolution has been approved as presented. So now what we're looking at is upcoming board agendas.
Yes, so for the next regular meeting is May 7th, 2024 at 5 p.m. It'll have the standard agenda items as well as updates from the subcommittees on Station 54, the outbuilding at Station 51, and the RFA committee. There'll be a discussion of the fire commissioner clothing. And then I also wonder if we should add something about this advertising of pro-con statements or process, some discussion of the status.
We could put it on the agenda, but most of this will be behind the scenes of just, again, advertising and soliciting for interest. But I agree, Amy, go ahead and put it on the agenda.
Okay, maybe I'll just make it more general as an update on the lid lift ballot measure.
There you go. Perfect.
And I think then we should be able to restate when we need the pro and con statements by, and have that timeline laid out so we can get that presented for the public.
Yeah, agreed.
Okay, is there
I I have a question about the pro and con statements. So when we ask people to provide one of these statements, are we asking them to, are we just like relaying facts to them and hoping that they will convey those facts back in a message, or is it just opinions of community members, or how does that, what do we ask them for?
It's kind of both. It's kind of, we can provide factual information, but it's entirely up to them as to what their opinion, perspective, whatever they want to write. If you've read any of these things, they can be sometimes can be completely off the wall, at times. But I think it's in our community's best interest to provide some facts. If they ask for any, data or information or anything like that, to be prepared to say, whatever it is, so that they can either use it for either the pro or the con, and so that it's the facts that get out there instead of conjecture or assumptions.
And is that something, Chief, we would be able to post on the website?
Some of it's probably already on the website, but then others, I can put together a brief, factual thing of like where we're at, how long it's been since we've done a lid lift, things of that nature, and I can post that on the website.
I would appreciate that, because I think
here's some data.
Yeah, I think our community members would be interested to know some of that information.
Okay, I can work on that.
Thank you.
And Matt Paxton can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that, if we ask people to be on the committee and they go, okay, can you give me some information about, the funding of the fire department, how it works with the levy and the benefit charge, and, why are you asking for this now, and so on. I mean, I think we can provide them with factual background information about how that works so that they have a good understanding of it. As long as we're not trying to persuade them that, one approach versus another is better. But I don't think we would have a problem with just explaining the process and how it works.
Okay, so
Lisa, I'm sorry, I joined the meeting a little late. This pro and con statement, we're talking about the commissioners developing a pro con statement or a pro statement for the ballot measure, like to go in the voter's guide, or are we talking about just soliciting public input?
Just soliciting public input and getting a pro and a con committee together. And so that they could make their statements for the ballots. But the commissioners are not allowed to do that. That's something we're asking the public to help us with.
Excuse me.
Copy. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, any other comments before we adjourn?
Thank you all.
All right, seeing none, we'll go ahead and adjourn. Thank you, everybody.
Have a good rest of the evening.